When I first started my business, my first business, I ghosted all the friends I had at the time. I ghosted my family members. I ghosted everybody that I knew. I made a completely new Instagram account. I actually removed like a few thousand followers. I forgot how much it was. From my very first Instagram account. It was called World SEMA, and that's how I started my company, off of that name. I ghosted everybody because I could not change in the presence of the people around me that had known me to be a certain way all of this time. And we don't even know who we are when we're kids. We don't know enough about ourselves, or we don't take the time to self-develop because we're just constantly around people. There's this obsession that everybody goes through from the ages of like 13 to 18, 20, where you just want to be accepted. You want to be accepted by the people around you. You want to have a community of friends. But there comes a time in your life, in your early 20s, I'd say, where you realize that your community is a cage, and you start evaluating what the consistency is of all of these friendships and acquaintances that you have, and all these relationships that you have, and you realize that they've just been kind of keeping you in the same place. And you study the lives of your friends, you study the lives of the people around you, and you think to yourself, do I want to live like them? Do I want to be the same person that I have been all of this time while being around them? And it's not personal. It's nothing personal. Business and personal evolution is never personal to anybody outside of you. It is always about you and your own growth and your own individuality and your own journey. And the decisions that you make in your life have to be made by you and only by you. And this is ever so more true in business. In business, you have no room for error, or you have very little room for error. You cannot mess up. And this is one of the first things that I learned when starting my very first business, is that you cannot mess up. This is not like taking a test in school and then being able to retake it, or you fail something and then you can still graduate with like your degree eventually, like if you just like make up for it in some way. This is not like that. Business is real life. You are working with real people. You are handling real money. You are closing real deals. You have to move in the real world. And so you cannot afford to make mistakes. You have to be very clear about who you are and about what you are doing when it comes to any sort of business transaction. So when I started my first business, I went ghost mode. I cut everybody off. I was ready to dive into what I could be. And so I started studying, and I started studying everything you can imagine. Actually, the first thing I started studying was spirituality, because I had no idea who I was. I was partying all the time. I was depressed. I was losing myself in substances and in people. And I was so far removed from myself that it actually hurt. It actually was painful for me to live that way after I had been living that way for a while. And there were so many moments of rock bottom that I used to eventually help me progress spiritually, but it wasn't like obvious to me at the time. I was so depressed. And all of these rock bottom moments were just like continuously kicking my ass until I got my ass in gear and started changing my habits and changing my lifestyle. So, this was in college, where I was going for a business degree, and I remember I had one last chance at this class. We were just talking about school, right? I had one last chance at this class to pass. And if I could not pass this class, I would not be able to stay in the business major. Like, I was failing out of my major because I was in a toxic relationship that was toxic for me at the time. I was partying all the time and just indulging and just like wasting my time, really. And I had no idea who I was. I had no identity. I was just trying to be happy. Like, when all of your energy is focused on like survival, you can't see past that. You can't see past that. Like, your scope of the world is so narrow. So I had one last shot to pass this class. And I remember thinking, like, I have to pass. Like, I'm going to pass, because you want to know what? Like, this is my wake-up call, and I have to pass, and I'm going to just stop everything else until I pass this class. So that's exactly what I did. I cut everything off cold turkey. I cut off some people cold turkey. It wasn't like they didn't know what was going on. Like, people knew, like, because I told them that I have to focus, you know. So I stopped partying, I stopped going out, like, I spent a lot of my time at the library, and I ended up going to that class every single day. I went for office hours, and I would go for like extra, like the professors like extra hours. So I would be basically like with that professor all the time, because I was hell-bent on passing, and I was hell-bent on learning the material. And this was the first time in my life, I think, that I had ever taken anything like that seriously, because my whole life up until that point had been about escapism and fun and having fun. And, you know, I love to have fun. Like, I have been like a hardcore certified party animal, or I was at that point in my life for like a long time. So this was the first time that I took anything academically like extremely seriously. And of course, I had been through private school like my entire life before this. I also like got good grades on like the SATs. I took the ACT. I did well, like, you know what, I got like Dean's List like all 3 years of high school, like. But for some reason, this specific class, what was it? It was like the highest level of calc, but it was with a professor that was really difficult. Like, everybody just thought that no one liked him, basically. No one liked this professor, because he was strict. And so I was with him all the time, learning, I sat in the front of the class, raising my hand all the time, asking questions, giving answers that were bullshit, that were like my best like interpretation of the material. And he could see my logic, you know. And so I was getting it, like, slowly. I failed like most of the questions in the beginning of the quarter, and then I caught up. Like, I started understanding what was going on. And took the midterms, passed them, took the second midterms, passed, took the final. I had like one of the highest like scores, and so I passed that class, and I was able to keep my business major. And then I never like cut it that close again. My life changed from that point on. I started meditating, like, because I really wanted to see what I could do. I wanted to see my potential. I was like awake at this point now, you know. So that was the beginning, I think, of me really starting to study. And that was the beginning of my interest in studying. So then I started studying spirituality. I started meditating. I started going within. I started studying my own consciousness and my own psyche and how it pertains to the stars. I got really into astrology. Then I got into mathematics and sacred geometry, because I wanted to figure out the connections between numbers and patterns and the real world. Then I discovered quantum physics. I started studying quantum physics, and it just like kept moving forward from there. I started a business in 2020. I saw it as a perfect opportunity for me to go even more so ghost mode and just like dive into what I really wanted to do. I actually started this YouTube channel, and my idea for like a business it had nothing to do with what everyone else was doing. Like, I had no friends that were entrepreneurs, really, at least not to my knowledge. And so it was just me, you know. And so I started filming YouTube videos around things that I was passionate about, like self-help and self-development and spirituality and things like that. Then I decided to start coaching. So I would do like one-on-one sessions. And then I realized that I got really into like brand management. I think I talked about this. And I started managing other people's brands. Then I got into e-commerce a little bit. I failed, by the way, in e-commerce. Did you know? I failed twice. The third one was fine, and that did well. That did some numbers. And then I realized that ultimately, like, drop shipping is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to build a personal brand, and I was so behind. Like, I felt that I was so behind, and I was like just late to the game. You know, I was managing other people's brands for like 2 years before that, or a year before that, and I just felt very, very behind. So I started ramping it up. I created all these Instagram accounts. Like, I started posting more consistently on this channel. I got into short form distribution, and you know, I had to learn everything like from the bottom up. And like, my journey is still so long, you know. And the thing about doing it right when it comes to business and like taking the slow route is that you build who you are. Like, you build character. It really builds character when you learn every single thing by scratch and you don't have anyone like patting you on the back or like supporting you financially or like teaching you. Like, you have to get really, really scrappy with how you go about doing things. And so I realized that like all I really needed was a few high income skills and I was good to go. So I set out to basically package up. I'm telling you what I did. This is my business story. I packaged up every single high income skill that I had and I turned it into sort of like deliverables for brands and companies. And I had done this before, so I kind of knew like what to do, but I was just like doing it on a more personalized level. And so I would be able to like just kind of pitch this to brands and companies and make a quick like $300, like make a quick like $1,000, like from here and from there. And so that was, I still do that when I need to. So, you know, if you have high income skills, do what I did. I don't even know if my stuff is public. Because on Stan, like on the Stan store, you can create funnels. So that's what I've done. I've created funnels. Maybe I'll like put it somewhere here, but basically I have like I have three medium to high ticket offers that I just like send out, you know. And if people are interested in working with me and if they like my short form or my long form content, then they book me and then I work with them. So that's an example of something you can do if you have hard skills that pertain to, you know, just like brand management or anything in the digital space, really. So that's something you can do if you have high income skills. So Seema, what are high income skills? Everything from community building to brand management to social media management to content creation, long form and short form, to video editing, I don't know, copywriting, you know, what is it? Conversion, client conversion, even content conversion, converting long form to short form, converting the text within the short form to a tweet, converting the tweet to short form, like cycling that out. Distribution, content distribution is one of the most powerful systems of marketing that we have. You have to like, just, I don't know, like 3 years ago, go through middlemen to like get your content out there. You had to advertise heavily on Facebook and wait. Sorry, there's like a bird that just like shit on my car. They shit really like nastily, like, I was like, what's that? Okay, let's continue the video. Just like 3 years ago, you had to go, or, oh my god, this bird keeps shitting. I cannot leave my car. It's like shitting. Oh my god. I don't know what to do. I'm like waiting for the next shit to drop. I have to edit this out. Just like 3 years ago, we did not have the content distribution system that we have today. You had to go through a lot of hoops to be able to produce high quality content and distribute that across different social media platforms. You had to go to brand shoots. You had to collaborate. Like, you don't have to do any of that stuff now. All you have to do is combine speed with accuracy of content and messaging, right? And then with circulation. That's all you need. You don't need to like go anywhere physically, really, to be able to get your message out there and to organically market your offer or your product or your service. You don't even need to have a product or service. Like, there are people out there right now that are like well known and like famous just for the sake of being well known and famous because they are content creators. So do you guys understand how easy it is? Like, it's so easy, and I'm here to put you guys on to the power and the potential of the digital age that we live in. We should not be working a 2006 job in 2025. We should not be working a 1999 job in 2025. What? Like, the internet in and of itself should have already changed your life. It should have already changed your life. And if it hasn't, why? Ask yourself why. Consider why. Consider what you need to do in order for that to happen. Do you need to learn some high income skills? Do you need to learn how to put yourself out there? Do you need to learn how to public speak? Do you need to learn how to get over some fears of putting yourself out there? Do you need to learn how to network? Do you need to learn how to communicate? Do you need to learn how to create content? Whatever it is you need to learn how to do, learn it so you can do it, so you can create passive income for yourself. But it's not just about the passive income. It's about empire building, because whatever you do stays on the internet forever. And this is really, really good, especially if what you are doing is profitable, both spiritually and financially for people. You know, education is $1 billion industry. Like, we are here to educate people on our own personal life experiences or anything that we know, right? If you have high income skills, talk about them. And this is one of the things I really wish I did more of. Like, if there's any one regret, I have 2 regrets. The first regret is not starting sooner. Okay, and not like being faster with it. The second regret that I have is not documenting all of my business highs and lows as they were happening, because it's just now that I'm starting to talk about this. And there are people that talk about this from the very first day that they begin. They have their business, they have their entity that they're running, they have their form of income or like side income, and then they document the process and they have like a separate account for that, or they even do it on the same like joint account. So that's just my personal regrets, and I'm sharing with you my regrets because I want you to have no regrets when it comes to what you choose to do in your life. You have one wild and precious, beautiful life. What do you choose to do with it? What kind of impact do you want to have, not just on the world, on yourself and on your immediate surroundings, on your immediate community? People have laughed at me, people have mocked me, stalked me, done whatever they could to me, and look at me. I'm still winning. I'm still on your screen. I still have your attention, not the other way around. You know what I mean? I'm still as collected as ever, and I'm only getting better every day because I compete with who I was yesterday. Not just that, I compete with who I was a few hours ago. So you have to be quick with it. You have to be quick-witted as well. And you have to be willing to be at the bottom and really, learn everything that you need to learn in a very systematic, slow way, in a very patient way. Business will teach you patience. This is going to grow your character like nothing else. This is going to cause you to self-develop like nothing else. Nothing quite teaches you like the experience of failure and like the experience of independence and having to do everything on your own and having to face haters on your own and face people that you love telling you that you can't do it or that you can't make it or making fun of you or questioning you. Like, nothing really shapes you quite like individuality and independence, because now, you cannot take character away from somebody. You cannot take skill sets away from somebody. You cannot take resolve and mission and vision and invention away from somebody. So invest in yourself, invest in who you are, invest in the person that you are, and your business will reflect that. The business that you decide to do will reflect that. It'll show. Okay? Anything else? Let me think here. One other thing. People think that, 2 other things. People think that money is like the end goal or end result of business. It's not. It's passion and purpose. Actually, it's purpose. Because even when you feel unpassionate, because passion is an emotion, which emotions are changeable. So even when you feel dispassionate about something, about your business on that specific day, you still have your purpose. You still have your goals. What are your goals? Get clear on your goals. Once you get clear on your long-term goals, because we're playing the long game, this is how you win. Once you get clear on your goals, right, then you have a direction for where you are going. And you have clarity on your offers as well for what you are offering as a product or service and to whom you're offering it, why, etc. But unless and until you have very clear long-term goals for why you're even doing anything, right, you're going to just be doing whatever. And you doing whatever does not make you optimized as a business owner. It does not make you quick. It does not make you efficient. And it does not make you responsible, honestly, like as a business owner. So you have to get very clear on what you are doing and why you are doing it, and learn from the best, learn from people. Everything is on YouTube. Everything is on YouTube that you could ever possibly need to know. Okay? Like, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for you to not learn something. If you want to learn something, it's available for you. Okay? You know what I mean? And the amazing thing about personal education and investing in your mind, really, and in your character and in the person that you are and who you are, is that you can pass on your impact to, again, your community, to your family, to your children. You know what I mean? Like, do you think, like, I don't know about you guys, but like, my kids are not going to school. Like, why would I send them to school when I can teach them everything that I need to know, and they can have be running a business by age 7 in a way that is obviously comfortable for them and in a way that they actually understand. So they would be set up for their children. Like, do you see how this works? So this is the time to get in, okay, and to start learning things that you need to know, and to start learning high income skills, to start learning the things that you know that you need to know in order to apply them and to begin your journey. My friends, this journey never ends. It never ends. So don't look at it like a long journey. It's life, okay? It's literally life. Like, business is life. Life is business, because they are one and the same, because you are always transacting all the time. You watching this video is a transaction. Me making this video for you is a transaction. It's an energetic transaction, right? So when you are intentional about what you are doing and what kind of content you are producing and what you are talking about, right? Then reality will reflect that and your fruits will show. In the Bible, it says that, we essentially give what we have inside. And so our fruits speak for themselves. This is the case with everybody. You guys have no idea how long I spent talking with brands, like a few years ago, networking with like business owners and coaches, getting to see what they did, getting to work back end, getting to help build community. Like, I did all of that stuff and I realized so many things. I also worked with models and influencers, and I learned so many things about what makes people fulfilled and what doesn't make people fulfilled. And ultimately, what makes people fulfilled is feeling as though they have an impact in their community, feeling as though that they have purpose every single day. And that's what business is. Like I said, business is about purpose. It's not about passion. It's not about what you're interested in. You have to combine everything to be able to serve and actually like run this machine that produces for the public, that produces on a global scale, on a global level. Don't you guys want to have big businesses? Sometimes I hear people say, oh, like me and my small business. What? You and who? You know what I mean? Like, why is your business small? I hear people saying that. I hear people sometimes say, me and my small business. Why is your business small? If your business is small, it's not going to grow. If it's not going to grow, it's probably going to fail, because you want to know why? The value of the dollar keeps decreasing. So that just kind of could show you like where the economy is headed. It just shows you what's going on. Like, do you think that if a trend is happening right now that it's just going to stop and reverse? It's going to keep going, right? Do you guys understand? The economy is on a downward spiral because there has been this big bubble of inflation that has been increasing and growing slowly, right? So we, America, as a first world country, has been very comfortable over the past few years. Why? Credit card debt. It's so easy to understand. Why are people living comfortably and living above their means? How are they doing this? Debt, national debt. So what's going to happen? Well, a bubble that keeps growing eventually has to pop, right? And the bigger this bubble gets, the more drastic the pop is going to be. So, over the next 10 years, it's just good to kind of understand that you need to position yourself in a way that frees you from the system of slavery, which is the matrix, which is working for $8 amount under 8-time constraint, and to get into entrepreneurship, self-development, things that can actually make you money passively, online empire growth, passive income, right? Which is a byproduct of online growth anyway. So do you guys understand? So I hope this video was helpful for you. If you want any tips, further tips on how to, not just tips, I won't just give you tips. This video was a tip for you to kind of like get you to pay attention to what's going on. If you want to work with me one-on-one, you can do so. I will have the link down below. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing one-on-ones. I have been extremely burnt out from doing one-on-ones. Okay, I'm going to start pivoting more towards buying into my community, which is coming soon. For now, you can also check out the course that I have down below. It is pricey. It is a high ticket course. It'll be yours for life. You can also resell it. Additionally, the course comes with a membership, and it comes with 2 weekly group calls from myself. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel for more, comment down below if you enjoyed it and what value piece you extracted from this the most. Follow me on Instagram. I love you guys the most, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.